Oceanside rider while she rolling the herb. Tide sucking up on the curb. Got this feeling to splurge. My sole purpose is to give you the word. Write these verses with that murder ain't no relation to herbs. Switching lanes for that shifting. 2 5 shots, still grooving this pandemic. I just played the cards, I'm dealt confident with it. King taking over this shit, monstrous vision. Never temper thoughts, I came from poverty stricken. One day at a time, can't rush greatness. My mind like plush Dayton's. 27 laps in this bitch.
What's up, everybody? This is Kyrie from the FantasyFlo Football Podcast, where we talk stats and facts to help you win your fantasy football league.
Quarterbacks.
Top 10s, baby.
Top 10. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Geno Smith,
Geno.
Carson Wentz,
Surprise.
Derek Carr, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Aaron Rodgers.
This sounds like, apart from the first 3 to 4 players, this was a underwhelming kind of week for like the quarterbacks. I mean, obviously you're happy with 27 points and things like that, but I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is in the top 10.
The backup, technically.
Yeah.
The paid backup, but
I'm just saying it was a
I don't. Did anyone put up like 40 points? No one had a super miraculous quarterback game.
I mean, besides
Josh Allen.
Only Josh Allen.
Josh Allen went off.
Patrick Mahomes was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I mean, certain people should be on there as they are.
right.
Geno.
I mean,
We'll
based
see if
on
he can keep it up.
Yeah, we're respecting them. We gotta respect them right now. I know. I'm surprised. I did start Jared Goff this week, and he did nothing for me. And they, prior to this week, had the highest scoring offense in the league.
Yeah.
So it was very sad, I guess.
But you got to check the matchups. Who do they play?
The Patriots defense.
That was going to be.
But for you to throw no touchdowns, Jesus Christ, you have the highest scoring offense.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was kind of hobbled. He wasn't the same, and you're hoping for lightning in a bottle with Jamal Williams again. I mean, it's not saying that he's bad. He could still produce well, but he didn't do his. He's been balling for the last couple of weeks, so
I think it's just mainly the matchup.
Yeah.
Playing against the Patriots.
Patriots have a good defense.
Yeah, their defense is.
Man, shoot, at this point, I don't know.
Just can't stop the Dolphins.
Listen, Zappe or whatever Zappy, whatever he is. He very, very Tom Brady-esque and seems interesting because you have Mac out.
Yeah, I definitely got to say, I mean, you got to look at Jacoby Myers having the game that he had with a backup QB.
And has a lingering injury as well.
You want to know who also had a good game with him? Devontae freaking Parker.
Yeah.
That he did. All right, so what we got next? Running backs, receivers?
Running backs. So, top 10 running backs for the week. Austin Eckler. Leonard Fournette.
No, he went off.
Josh Jacobs. Breece Hall.
My dog.
Finally. I'm sad as our team, but finally.
It was a good investment. I'm sorry.
Nick Chubb. Derrick Henry. Dalvin Cook. Alvin Kamara. Christian McCaffrey. And Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
Wow.
For all intents and purposes, Tevin Coleman just got dropped back to the practice squad. So,
Hey, that happened to Latavius. He got picked up.
well, yeah, he's on the Broncos too. That's a very nice thing that people should look into as well, because you know what Latavius, his body of work has been.
Right.
He's done it with with Baltimore. He's done it with the Vikings. He's done it with the Saints. He goes all over and he produces. So
Yeah, he steals touchdowns.
well, I mean, if you don't got a Javonte and you need somebody to play smash and dash with Melvin Gordon, I think that he's a good compliment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, the list looks about right. Alvin Kamara.
Finally step back into the realm of somebody that's relevant. I mean, people drafted this man as at least a top 12 player, and we were all talking like it's a steal to get him that late, but he ain't been playing like he's a steal. And at first I was blaming Jameis, but you know what I was saying to myself? Yeah, I do too now because I actually think that he plays better under Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton?
Yeah.
He does.
That's the argument right there.
Yeah. So Andy Dalton isn't as a gun like he's gonna throw the ball, but Jameis is gonna launch that thing. He don't care sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you got Olave out there, you just like Olave out there somewhere.
Yeah. I did somewhere. He's scoring touchdowns, even unconscious. So
Now we're gonna move on to wide receivers. Everybody, you know that PPR. We love our wide receivers.
yes.
Number one
Number one,
is a Bill,
unfortunately.
Gabe Davis,
Oh, not Stephon?
not Stephon.
Gabe Davis.
Very interesting.
Before you go, I want to go to an interesting stat with him, right?
I don't think he had a lot of catches.
3 receptions.
Look at that.
How many touchdowns?
2.
2.
98-yard touchdown.
You know what's crazy? Devontae had 3 catches, 2 touchdowns.
3 only?
Yep.
Hey, when you like that, you know what I'm saying?
I guess it's that kind of week.
That's that kind of week. And coming at number 2, Devontae Adams.
Nah,
I'm pretty sure he had 3 catches.
Bro, he really had
124
3
yards.
Yeah, 3 receptions, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Don't
That is efficient, okay?
So if you don't do PPR, you real happy
yeah,
about
exactly.
that.
Exactly. That made you very happy.
Coming in at number 3, we got Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp,
Of course.
Tyler Lockett. I'm loving to see Tyler Lockett at number
Gino, that
That's
boy
nice.
Gino.
Diami Brown.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a question out there in Washington because Diami Brown just did that off of 2 catches as well.
Yes.
And with
I
that
was
being
hot because it wasn't
it-
Terry.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
I was very
it
upset.
makes
Oh
me-
man, if you drafted Terry, I just know you hating life.
I'm real mad.
I'm
Jahan.
not hating life.
Oh my God.
The other guys are obviously producing more. They're keying in on Terry more. That's
Yeah,
his
he's
problem.
getting the most targets. That is true.
But the thing is with Terry is like he still gives you a decent floor. At the end of the day he's only did under 10, like maybe once.
maybe twice, including.
Maybe
I think this
twice.
week he did under 10.
Did
I
he?
think.
I think he did 13.
13? Oh, it
He
was
could
close
be. I
to
could
it.
be wrong, but
No,
either-
you might be right.
But
It wasn't what I want. I want more.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
want more from a number 1 receiver, but
Yeah.
obviously. But I'm just saying with him, Diami doing that, it's also you got to remember that Dotson was out for this game, so now it's like obviously you invested that draft pick in Dotson, but you got Diami Brown doing this off of 2 catches. Like you probably gonna want to see if you can get him the ball a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's catching
Washington
and scoring.
receivers are looking pretty good right
Yeah,
now.
at this point, if you get them a solid quarterback, like a really good one, Washington would be a problem.
Yeah.
And you got Diggs at 7, Jacoby Myers at 8,
Trash.
Mike Williams at 9, and Marquise Brown at 10.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Marquise Brown is he's just too freaking consistent right now. It's
Yeah.
honestly annoying.
Kyler may not have the best win games right now. I think they're 2-3
Yeah,
now, but he's throwing it to Brown.
but when Hopkins comes back, is really to see because him and Hopkins had a chemistry.
Yes.
Him
yes,
and
they did.
Hopkins work.
Whenever Hopkins is in the game, Hopkins is getting everything he wanted.
So now that you have your best friend essentially from college, like how does that change now? So we're gonna see after week 6, week 7 when it comes back. I don't know when their bye is, but you're gonna see after week 6 what happens with Hopkins and Brown.
Now you said, well, who's at 8 or 7?
So at 8, we had Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby. So Jacoby balled out.
7
He was
receptions.
questionable, I think, too.
So he was hurt. He didn't play the game before that, and yes, he was questionable. But the great thing about Jacoby Myers' game is that his game isn't a Devontae. It's not a Tyreek Hill. He's a possession receiver, but he knows how to run his routes and gets open. Funny thing is, he's a quarterback. He used to be a quarterback. So, I mean, I respect his game. It's just that I don't know. When you're rooting for a Patriots quarterback to throw a receiver a ball, you're just like, I don't find no enjoyment in that.
I'd found zero enjoyment, but I have him on my bench.
I got him on my team.
Yeah.
He should be starting at this point. If you have him,
he was starting from day one.
Day one.
Well, I mean,
I had enough
there were
depth.
some
I'd have to
people. There were
start
some
him.
people who had him on the waiver wire still. You know what I'm saying? People
That's
picked him
wild.
up.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, Jacoby Myers is definitely a
He's the number one.
Yeah, he's the number
Yeah.
one.
The
But you know what's
Devontae Parker's
crazy?
definitely not number
They've
one.
been trying so hard to supplant him with a new number one. Like they went and got the Thornton guy, whatever it's Thornton Davis or something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The first round draft pick that ran like a 4.2. He's the fastest dude in the combine this year. So I find that funny because they know Mac don't got an arm. So why are you getting the fastest guy in the combine? He's gonna be useless.
Maybe they're trying to get some yak with him. I don't know. Tyreek Hill effect, Waddle effect.
Yeah.
Good to see Mike Williams eating after getting his money.
Listen,
That's my boy.
Listen, anybody who's picked up Mike Williams has to be ecstatic because, like you said,
Not
like
even
we
picked
talked
up,
about it.
drafted
Him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That man should have.
Yeah,
not
he was
been
dra-
on
he was
Yeah, he
anybody's
was
waiver
definitely
wire.
drafted.
Especially knowing Keenan Allen's injury
Exactly.
history. So
Nobody knew that he was going to be injured. Keenan Allen was going to be injured.
No.
CEH.
But you got to chill out. Y'all gotta chill out. Talking about my dog. I'm about to put a voodoo on y'all too, boy.
It's him, ain't
Anybody
Man,
putting
this ain't
Voodoo, this is facts. This is science.
Nah, bro.
Science.
He can't.
Science.
Listen, CEH is
The
healthy
devil.
right now until he ain't healthy.
What we got next?
moving on to tight ends. All right.
My Lord. Tight ends, like we told
The
y'all.
crumbs, tight end crumbs
Who do you
right
think
now.
the number one is?
Kelsey. If it's not Kelsey, then I mean,
King Kelsey.
I don't know.
Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Hold on, I forgot
No,
about
no.
this
Yeah, you
dude.
forgot
I
about
forgot
Taysom.
about
Taysom
Mr.
Hill.
Do It All.
Check this stat line. Receptions 0.
As a what position?
A tight end.
A tight end. Okay.
Receiving yards 0.
As a what?
Tight end.
Okay.
Receiving touchdowns 0.
As a what? Tight end.
So where did his points come from?
Runs.
All runs.
Shout out Alpha Kamara.
He did make a couple passes too.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? The thing is, if I'm wrong, correct me. I think Andy Dalton got hurt that game.
I didn't have a chance to watch it. So
I
I'm not
do
sure.
believe Andy Dalton got hurt.
I know
that
he was the
game,
starter.
and I think that they started putting in Taysom Hill at the end of it, and he just kept I remember
He just kept running the ball.
He just kept running, dog.
and not getting
He
stopped.
kept running. It's scary when you have that threat, though.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that they've done the whole Taysom Hill, the QB. He's good. He can win you a few games.
He's an athlete.
He's not going to win you a championship.
No.
Let me tell you something. Taysom Hill, with everything that he can do, he needs to be in the top 10 every week. With
He should.
what he can do.
So
What? Go ahead.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say when Jameis is playing, they don't really give him the ball.
they don't.
That's
So
another thing.
what I was going to say is that with Taysom, it's like you get the best of both worlds and everything like that, but it's like he's running all over the place. He doesn't do too much receiving, and when it comes down to with like just the Saints and how they're constructed, they don't do well when it's only him.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why they don't ever want to consider him as the quarterback of the future.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like you can't help but like what you see. And it's like, it's funny, I was talking to my brother before and we were having a discussion about who's the best player in the NFL. And everybody like to say Tom Brady. Everybody's trying to say Aaron Donald, the regular people that, that are just that good that you can't deny. But when you think of the best player, like if you think of best player in basketball, we talk about LeBron as one of the best players, right? LeBron is like an all-around guy. He could do all kind of things. When you look at Taysom Hill, by definition, he's the best player in the NFL.
I can't agree with that.
I'm just saying he can throw, he can run, he can catch, and he does all of that well. by definition of what the best player should be, he does the most on the field than anybody.
He is a pure athlete. The reason I can't agree with that is because the Saints gave him a shot at QB1 last year, and he failed.
No, don't get me twisted. I'm not saying he is the best quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best running back. I'm not saying he's the best tight end.
But can you be the best at not being the best at one of those things?
If you do everything, well, for him, yeah, I feel you. But what he does really well is his running ability and I think his physicality. Although he's also somewhat injury prone
I
too.
just want to point something out too. Tim Tebow.
He is. He's a better Tim Tebow.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill is a better Tim Tebow.
He's faster.
And
more elusive.
Tim Tebow took the Broncos to the playoffs, bro, and won a playoff game.
He did.
Taysom Hill is what we thought
Tim
Tebow was
Tebow.
going to be.
Yeah. But he's also
Still not with the good arm, though.
He's also what the issue with Tebow was. Like, Tebow wasn't a good quarterback. He wasn't accurate. He was physical. He ran and he made yards and he could make things happen, which Taysom Hill does all the time. But when you look at just what Tebow was going, like, it's funny because we forget so much how easy college was for Tebow. And Tebow was doing his thing in college. So we didn't, like, as a Gator fan growing up, I didn't realize that Tebow wasn't a good quarterback. I was just enamored by watching Percy
They just
Harvin,
made this
Jeffrey
man
Dempson.
a freaking Terminator in NCAA. Like, you could not stop this dude.
Hey, but he was doing it in real life. That's the thing.
He was doing it in real life. So then I think people it happens every once in a while in drafts. They did it with Johnny Manziel. They did it with Tebow. Somebody's gonna overdraft him just for the name.
Yeah.
And they know what that name is gonna do for them. And obviously the Broncos drafted him and they didn't want to start him, but when they had to start him, he did his thing and they couldn't deny it. So can Taysom Hill do that? I think he can at a higher clip. But it's just he's like we said, he's just not that good of a quarterback to elevate a team. When you have receivers like Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and you have Alvin Kamara, you can't be
even Mark Ingram.
Even Mark Ingram. So it's like you can't look at them and be like, dang, you know what? Well, I think that, we're just gonna lean on Taysom Hill. It's like, bro, you got them boys out there.
Exactly. And what's crazy is the man, as you said, kept running. At what point does the defense just say, just tackle Taysom?
I don't think they could. Because you gotta think about tight ends, bro. Like, I look at it all the time. It's like when you think about football and you see somebody that's bigger than you, right? A lot of times these kids that I coach over there at the league, they like to chop sometimes, and chopping's easy, right? Especially when a person is bigger than you. I understand chopping somebody that's bigger than you. I just hate people who chop because you end up messing up somebody's leg.
Yeah.
But the thing is that what do you do when you see somebody that big running that fast, head at, like, full steam ahead right at you?
You're not trying to get trucked.
So you gonna chop him, and if he knows you're gonna chop him, he gonna hurdle you.
Yeah.
If he has space, he find a way. Yeah. So I mean, and he's not no slow guy, bro.
Or he could get low enough to still truck you,
and he can hit you.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Is what I'm saying. It's like it's hard, bro. When you see somebody big like that, it's hard, dog.
Yeah. No.
Back to the list, though.
Yeah.
So Taysom Hill at number 1. Travis Kelce at 2.
King Kelsey.
Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Hayden Hurts, David Njoku, Evan Ingram, Tyler Higbee, Adam Troutman, and Zach Ertz.
Troutman's on Saints.
No Everett?
Everett did not have a good game.
No.
But Higbee is still showing that he's worth
a weekly start.
A weekly start. Who else you had? Let me see.
Ingram should be.
Ingram. So it's funny how Will swindled Marlon out of a tight end and still lost. That's my dog. Though.
Tragic.
I feel him, but Marlon ended up picking up the better tight end at that point. I mean, Disley has been a top tight end, and he fell off this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that he might be a decent tight end going forward, maybe because obviously Geno's been playing well. But yeah, I mean, Will scooped up Disley, hoping that he would be able to put Marlon in a sticky situation. and by the looks of it, he was in a sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he picked up Evan Ingram, and
Worked out for him.
it worked out for him. Evan Ingram ain't a bad pickup, and obviously he did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure Marlon's pretty happy with that choice at this point. He might not drop him.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just happy to see Kelsey and Mark Andrews stay in the top 5 every week.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think you need that too.
I need that every week.
Every week.
Yeah,
top
I don't
five.
think that will change. I think they're going to be a staple, top 5 every week.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everybody else. I like that Goddard moved up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Higbee it shows that he's still consistent. But
Seeing Ertz on there is good.
Ertz has been a consistent thing there.
It's on Kyler.
Yeah, it's on Kyler to have a good game for that. But I would say, like, honestly, tight end wise, who else was on there? Let's see. Hayden Hurst and Njoku. Those two are eye poppers to me. Because when I looked at Hayden Hurst, I remember watching the game. I saw Hayden Hurst was having a decent game. But I didn't realize that he actually dropped like 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Yeah, Hurts
all
is going
right.
to be solid.
Yeah.
so
Especially
but
when you got T. Higgins, he's dealing with an injury.
exactly. So I was just about to say is like he's been dealing with this injury for a little bit, and T. Higgins is in and out all the time. So it's like,
And
you
Boyd's not
gotta-
getting many looks either, as you would think.
So here's the thing. Like I told y'all before, it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice, dog.
Yeah.
And that's what I said about Jamar Chase in the beginning of the season. Let me go brag on my tape real quick. Okay? Because Jamar Chase ain't Jamar Chase of last year because they got tape on this man. They know how much receivers they got, so they know who to take away. What's making it easier to bottle Jamar Chase up is T. Higgins not staying healthy.
Yeah.
If T. Higgins could stay healthy and open up the field a little bit more for him on a consistent game basis, then what are we talking about, right?
True.
But as of right now, Jamar Chase ain't looking like that guy right now. I mean, do we expect it to eventually pick up? I do, but
I do, because we said the same thing about Devontae,
but
and he's picking it up.
It's going to pick up.
It's gonna pick up. But like I said, I just don't see him doing what he was doing last year. Almost 50-point games, 200 yards receiving.
At this rate, no, I don't think the Bengals are the same team.
They're
anyway,
not.
So
They're not. And so it's like, and people are not going to take them lightly no more. They took them lightly last year, and that's why they blew up on everybody.
Yeah.
So now you can't take a team that went to the
with a
Super
bad
Bowl.
O-line.
Yeah.
that.
And they got better, but they're not that much better.
Yeah.
So Jamar Chase ain't that good. I'm joking.
Oh,
But
I know.
I'm joking. But I'm just saying he ain't gonna be that guy this year. Might be a top. He might be number 10 receiver.
All right. Kickers.
My dog, Mayer, he made the list, bro? Mayer or whatever.
Yeah, he on the list.
My dog, as long as he stay up there.
What we
boy.
got?
Once I realized he was a top kicker, I was like,
So we got Nick Folk, Chase McLaughlin, Daniel Carlson, Justin Tucker, Cairo Santos, Taylor Bertolet,
What team is that?
Chiefs,
Chargers.
Oh, okay.
interesting.
I think the kicker's hurt. Is that in the
Which
backup? That's
one?
the backup, ain't it?
Yeah, that's
Chargers
the backup
kicker?
Yeah, that's the backup.
Who's their kicker initially? Badgley or Bagley?
I don't remember, but I remember the kicker was hurt, so they had to play him.
Brett Maher, Kaimi Fairbairn, Brandon McManus, and Mason Crosby.
The one positive thing about the Broncos is that they can't score, but they can
can
surely
kick,
kick
boy.
that ball.
McManus has been a solid kicker for many seasons.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, now that they're in these predicaments, if you have McManus, you're looking at maybe a guaranteed 10, 11 points a game.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing for a kicker.
Yeah, and Bucker's still hurt. I don't know what that man's.
You saw I gave up on my weekly pursuit of him.
Yeah, I mean,
because I had Brett, dog. So I was like,
yeah,
you
he
know
also
what?
stopped. McPherson didn't make the list this week, which that's Bengals wasn't really doing much. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like, thing about kickers is like when you have a good kicker, you like to see them be the ones to win games, just for the points. But
Yeah.
when you see Tucker kicking a field goal, I'm like, you know what? Make that a 50-yarder. Make that a 50-yarder. I know Tucker got it.
Tucker got it.
Him, Greg the Leg,
Like there's certain people that you're just like, you know what, bro? I want the extra points for the kick. So
Yes.
let's make that a nice long kick, bro. And you can only do that with certain kickers and only hope for that for certain kickers.
Exactly.
So that's what I appreciate a good kicker that can get you those game winners, especially in those type of situations.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't sleep on kickers because, like you said, game winners. Kickers, not just in the actual NFL game, but in fantasy sports as well. A kicker will win you.
Yes.
Bro, if your
It's
kicker,
happened to me.
a lot of times if a kicker goes north of 15 for whatever reason, you won. There's no reason a kicker should have 15 points.
Exactly.
And sometimes you might. There's one situation I had. Tom Brady, Kyrie had the kicker. Who was the kicker at the time? Like 4 years ago for the Patriots when he was on the Patriots.
I can't remember who it was.
Gronkowski or something like that.
Yeah, Gronkowski.
Goskowski.
Goskowski.
Something like that.
And Goskowski scored more points than Brady, and I lost because of that.
It happens, dog.
So
it happens because
doesn't
there's like what we were dealing with. What game was that where they were? Oh, Broncos and the Colts. Field goal. It was field goal,
game,
field goal,
yeah.
field goal,
That's it.
field goal, field goal. I don't think anybody scored a touchdown. Did Matt Ryan throw a touchdown or
I
something?
don't even think so. I think it was wasn't it like 12-9 or something like that?
12-9. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
12-9. So yeah, it was strictly field goals, bro.
Yeah.
So that was
They said it was like the most boring Monday Night Football game in years.
It was Thursday. That
Or
was
Thursday
Yeah,
night
and
game,
if-
something like
even
that.
then, it's like it's the middle of the week. We pretty much want football now, and this is the game that we're subject to.
Yeah, I stopped.
This is the game. We're
I stayed up from work to go to.
Like,
I got work in the morning.
What?
Watch this.
Should have went to sleep.
A lot of times, you probably end up telling yourself that.
Exactly. Defense.
Defenses. Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Dallas Cowboys,
Oh man.
New England Patriots, Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers, Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, New York MF and Jets,
We know why.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Houston Texans, and the Minnesota Vikings.
Number one was who?
Number
Dallas.
one was the
Dallas.
Dallas Cowboys.
Michael Irvin's right.
No. I'm telling y'all now that defense is legit.
Finger looking good, as
They're-
Michael Irvin would say.
They're really good.
Okay, let's slow our roll here. All right.
I mean, I still believe Dallas is an accident waiting to happen like everybody else.
I need Dak to come back.
Let's-
That's
let's-
all I gotta
let's
say.
Pump the brakes.
So I got some more problems happen.
Who do they play?
You tell me.
The Rams.
Well,
Slump. They're slumping.
Are you
Are the
saying
Rams
that?
doing good?
Oh, so you're discrediting the win.
Cooper
Are the
Cup.
Rams doing
Cooper
good?
Cup's doing good.
Cooper Cup is
Well,
doing
you
good, but
gotta-
are the Rams
Here's
doing
the
good?
thing, right?
They're not
As
winning.
the Rams,
Is Cam Akers doing well?
No,
Is Daryl Henderson doing well?
no, but I mean, you lose Andrew Whitworth, your best left tackle, right? He was the anchor of that offensive line. You lose him. You don't have Odell.
Allen Robinson's
Allen
a ghost.
Robinson can't get
I
get
don't know what's
separation, and so you're looking for Stafford to throw to two people, Tyler Higbee and Cooper Kupp, and so it's very hard. It's very easy
Very.
to read what he's gonna do. So they're gonna struggle, and because no Andrew Whitworth, the run game is struggling too.
Exactly.
Now, flip on the defensive end, it gets worse. They lost Von Miller. Von Miller was a very big reason why Aaron Donald was free to wreak havoc last year.
That's true.
And part of the reason why he made that last play in the Super Bowl. If you don't have pressure from Von Miller, and they didn't replace that pressure. They let him. He left, and they didn't have anybody come in to replace him.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at a defensive line that isn't as dominant and I mean, what do you do then? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for that team to get going, and it's hard for me to see that Odell will actually come back there. So,
especially with them losing right now.
yeah. So I understand you discrediting the win. I just think that it's gonna take them some time to get it together because they lost really key people, like really key people. Mm-hmm. Those two people were really important to their team.
And I can't wait for the Cowboys to play the Eagles.
Yes, because
it's going to open a lot of stuff.
But you know what? I don't like rooting for the Cowboys, but I actually think the Cowboys win. That's my take.
I hate the Cowboys, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, I want the Eagles to win, but I actually think that the Cowboys are probably one of their hardest games.
Oh yeah.
So therefore,
that is the hard. That's probably the hardest defense they got to face.
The hardest defense and everything else. I mean, it all depends on maybe how Dak looks when he comes back. If Dak does not look good when he comes back, you might as well just go back with
the question is when Dak comes back. You start Dak immediately. That's what you pay him for. No.
You talking about the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Bro, he is a rich man. He's playing.
Listen,
But Tony Romo was a rich man too, so I don't know.
He played too.
not
when he
not the team.
but-
You talking about the team or in fantasy league?
Team.
No, I'm talking about the team, not fantasy. If you're the Cowboys and you're winning with Cooper Rush, when Dak comes back, you put in Dak.
Yes, because you can't sustain
He's
a
the
championship.
starter.
Yeah, you can't
So
sustain.
if Dak loses one, switch 2, then you switch 3, then you switch in a row.
They're not going to switch. They're too
You
invested
can't.
into
You
him.
just invest. Okay.
You're too invested in him.
I don't know what's gonna happen from
It's either that or trade him.
a real life standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
but I know when it come to fantasy, I ain't starting Dak when he comes.
You can't.
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie to
I'm
you.
not
scared.
Depending on what happens to me in sleeper app, bro. If I can't get me a Geno Smith, bro, and I once I have Dak sitting there in the IR, because
Who drafted Dak? You drafted Dak?
he did.
I did.
You IR'd
dropped
him or you
him.
dropped him?
I dropped him.
Oh, you dropped him.
I just picked him up because I was like, you know what? I've been dealing with Russ. I need something, bro. So I just want to see what Dak can do for me, bro. If he can be serviceable.
Listen, I've been down this road before with Dak, which is why it was easy for me to drop him because he was taking up space on my bench, and I could have been filling that spot with another skill position player. So it just didn't make any sense, especially when I had Cousins, and Cousins can do just enough to get me by.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
there was no need for me to keep Dak on my bench.
Well, Dak burned me last year, so he's on that. I'll never.
I've
draft
never
again.
been on the Dak like train. So this is the first time I think I actually have him on my team. But like I said, it's more so I want to see what he looks like. And if he can be better than Russ, I'm starting him.
Shit.
So
Everybody
obviously
better
his
Russ right
first
now.
game, I'm not starting him. But after that, if Russ is, I mean, like I said, if I can't get me Geno Smith, bro,
Hey, you gotta play your best player.
I gotta go. I'm stuck with Russ and I'm stuck with Dak. So I mean I can stick with Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence, he's a little too up and down right now for me, for my blood. So
Feel that.
it's rough though.
Yeah.
Quarterback ain't easy this year. It's like a lot of people have been saying that football has just been weird this year. It's a lot of bad football. And I'm trying to think, what did they change that might have made football just weird? I know they did the one less preseason game last year, so why it shouldn't, in my mind, be messing it up now.
I don't think it's that. It's just
It's a lot.
it's the beginning of the
football.
season. There's a lot of teams that change around, key players.
That is true. So maybe
This doesn't seem like it's not really that much different from past seasons, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got certain teams underperforming that shouldn't be, and dealing with concussion thing now. So it's going to get even weirder.
You know what it is too? A lot of the players that we have relied on for years, who we've constantly seen playing, balling out week after week, they're starting to get older. We're starting to see newer players come in from. We're talking about guys coming in from the draft. You got your second, third year, 4-year players who are starting to, break out and shine, and then the guys who have been in the league for longer starting to get older, they're starting to get injured more.
Yep.
So, you got new coaches in the league. There's been so many different changes. So that's why it kind of seems like the league is weird right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes for sure.
But as the seasons go on, you'll start to see things kind of become a little normal.
Other than quarterbacks, I would definitely say wide receivers and running backs are really focused on early year players, like you said. Like it's not often a second year player is supposed to be the first overall pick in your draft.
Yeah.
So and he's not even top 10 2 weeks in a row.
What are you talking about?
JT, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. So my thing is like, running backs don't have a high shelf life. So when you're dealing with that, you got to temper expectations. So people like running backs, you have to always remember you probably got their rookie contract for them to ball out, and then they're going to want to get paid, and then they're not going to want to pay him, and then they realize they don't have any better running backs, or they do get another running back, and then they let him go. But the point is that after the running back gets paid, you need to worry. That's just my mindset, right? You need to worry because once the running back gets paid, the injuries come. It's just how it goes. Running backs. Receivers now, they can it goes two ways. You can just be really good all throughout your first 7 years of your career or whatever. But the thing is, I always get weary is when a receiver gets paid, it's like they already made it. Classic example, it's not a perfect example, but a good example is Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel probably had maybe one good game so far. Like one blow-up game.
One, I remember,
Yeah, one blow-up game. He's just been kind of average. Deebo Samuel was the number 2 receiver last year because he almost ran for not for 2,000, but almost ran for 1,000 and caught for 1,000. So he had himself a year.
But you got to remember,
Go ahead.
you got to remember he's a different offensive coordinator.
Yep.
They're
It's the
going
same-
through
it's the
QB
same
issues,
scheme.
and they're going through QB issues too.
It's the same quarterback that he had from last year that gave him that.
Now,
and
but not at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. I understand that. You're right. I'll give you that. But Shanahan's system is Shanahan's system.
Is Mike not there? Mike McDaniel's not there, man.
Mike
Exactly.
McDaniel. Listen, Mike
I think Mike McDaniel's had a big role, Alex. I think he had a
definitely
big
had a
role
big
there
role.
with
He's
that.
Look
been
at what
there.
he's doing for us.
Yeah.
The run game ain't all completely there for us, but the thing is that reason I'm telling you this,
what
yeah,
he's doing with
yeah. I mean,
And it's the same thing you said with Jamar. They really just got to lock up Debo, and they've been doing it pretty
Yeah.
well.
So I agree, but my thing is that with that system's been in place since
they have a system.
it's been in place since Washington.
Yeah.
From his father being the coach of Washington, RG3 days. That's from Albert Morris going crazy because of the zone scheme run. That's not Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels learned under them. So is he a big part of it? I'm not going to discredit him. Obviously, he got a job because he played a good role in the running game for them because he's been the running backs coach.
Yep.
But I do think that he learned it from them. So at the end, it's the same thing. It's like, why does McVay always lose to Shanahan? Because Shanahan taught that man. It's just literally he knows how to beat him.
But it is possible Debo to start getting better stats with Kittle back now. Because
it'll take a little bit. But you have to also remember the difference also was last year is we expected a jump for Ayuk and it didn't happen, right? And then when we expected a jump for Ayuk and it didn't happen, it happened for Debo.
10 times.
10 times harder. So when you got that happening, it's just whatever. Now the difference in this season, Ayuk isn't playing bad like he was.
He's playing better than last year.
He's playing better than last year.
Yeah.
So they're locking him up. They're locking up Debo. And then there's also the fact that Ayuk is actually making his catches.
Yep.
Yeah, but my Ayuk ain't really doing
He's not doing
that good.
He's
No,
not.
he's
He's
not.
not world
He's not
beater.
doing
I'm
what
just
he's
saying
supposed
he's
to.
taking. He's just taking some.
He lost his spot.
It makes me think like you said, Mike McDaniel's gone. You know, both of them not really doing
But like
that well.
Kittle's been out. Hopefully with him back,
Yeah, we'll see how
it'll
goes.
open up more stuff.
It's still continuity within that team. The best thing that they have going for is that defense is solid.
yes, it's
The
been solid
greatest
week to
thing
week.
that they have is that defense is solid.
And let's not forget Kittle. A lot of people put Kittle over Kelsey, so they
It's a little wild to me.
say he's Kittle. He's Kelsey, but can block as well, and that's the only downfall for Kittle, that he can block. People said around the league.
Listen,
so.
bro, Kittle blocks very well, but Kittle gets hurt because he blocks very well.
Exactly, that's his downfall. But
He's good. I just think he's getting older, and as Kittle keeps getting older, his production is going to drop. That's why Mark Andrews already usurped him. So listen, Kittle's going to start dropping down as the years go. Like
Yeah.
he's still considered a top 5.
yes,
In the next 2 years, he's going to be nearing the 10.
10.
And then,
Well, yeah, young
he's going
dudes
to probably
coming
near
up.
10. And then I won't disrespect him until, because I don't take Kittle as a person that's going to play beyond his time.
So he's like a Gronk time, because
Like that's what I'm saying.
like
Gronk played
30 or whatever?
Yeah, I think Kittle's gonna realize that his body's gonna break down. If
Yeah.
he can't block and catch and do everything the same way, or he's getting hurt too often, which he does,
yeah.
he's gonna have to wrap that up.
Because I think him and Gronk are some of the few good receiving tight ends that actually grew up playing tight end. So a lot of
Okay.
these other people play receiver.
Yeah, and they got bigger or whatever, or they're just too big of a receiver.
Exactly.
Because tight ends are out here 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", basically playing basketball.
Exactly. OJ Howard, people like that.
Yeah, Jaceki, all them. So I mean, it's a lot of people like that for sure, though.
Yeah.
But what else we got over here? So what do y'all got as your boom or bust players from last week?
My bust is easily Jared Goff. I started him over Wentz because Wentz had a downfall week before, and Jared Goff
That
had.
probably hurt your heart.
Oh, I lost my game because of that. I think he got me less than 5.
Yeah, that's kind of
No touchdowns. You have the high scoring offense. It's matchups, but at least you could have got me some trash points. You know.
Yeah.
Boom. I don't think I guess you could say Devontae Adams had a boom, and now he decided to boom the cameraman. So.
That's a boom because 3 catches for 100-something yards and 2 touchdowns is a boom.
Yeah.
But it's also Devontae Adams, so you can't say it's a boom, but it is a boom because he hasn't been playing like that. Like a
Yeah,
lot, but
consistently.
It's a boom though. It is a boom.
But bye week and a suspension possibly.
Yeah. So and you know that suspension comes after the bye week.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that sucks. Who you got?
So for my boom, I have Gabe Davis.
Oh, hey.
Another 3-catch guy.
He had the injury that he was dealing with. Coming back from the injury, didn't really have that great of a game. And then, as you saw this past Sunday, the man balled out.
Hold out.
My bust, Jamal Williams.
So it's just Lions is busting.
Yeah, I chalked that up to the matchup.
Yeah.
But respectfully to that, right? They're the highest scoring offense in the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even though they went against a good defense, they're the highest scoring offense in the league.
Which
bro.
I expected some trash points at least.
Yeah, it was kind of wild to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Kyler's been doing it and losing. Why can't Jared do it?
Listen, dog. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you got.
we
what?
doing the watch.
No, I
What you
didn't
gotta
go.
do
Let
is-
me get mine. So for me, Kenneth Walker boomed for me. Not for me, but that was my boom. Just simply off of the fact that there was the hype that he could be this type of player, and but there was always Rashad Penny that might have stood in his way. But they always felt at some point he was going to overtake.
Yeah.
So you had to keep playing every week by week to know when that was going to happen. And that's the crazy thing about fantasy because you never know when it happens. Cordell Patterson goes down. Everybody's talking about Tyler Algier, and it's like he's not doing nothing, not
He ain't
doing
doing
nothing,
nothing.
not doing nothing. Bam, Cordell Patterson, IR. Now he's the number 1. Right? And then Rashad Penny going nuts, broken the leg.
Well, I expected something to happen to Penny.
Yeah, I did too. But I'm just saying, like, it was just we didn't know when it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So
Knew
now
it was coming, but it's not when.
exactly. So now you're looking at Kenneth Walker, and you're like, you can really ball. And then you've seen what he did. And I'm like, yo, you actually are really good. I think you can be like he might like I saw somebody posted on Instagram. It's like he could be the fantasy waiver pickup of the year. they think just
This is my thing though.
yeah.
Can he stay healthy?
He had
on the
injury concerns?
No,
Oh.
but if they're going to be using him a lot, running back is a rough position.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
So, and you know how the Seahawks are. They always got running backs on deck.
Well, DJ Dallas is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully they, give both of them enough touches where they're not running Kenneth Walker into the ground.
Yeah.
Because if he gets hurt, then it's just going to be, all right, who's the next running back up? And that's not because I remember there was one season, it might have been maybe 2 seasons ago, where the Seahawks had like 4 or 5 running backs on their roster, and one would go down.
Next one
and
came
then the
up.
next one would be balling, and they would
Yeah,
experiment.
real quick.
They'd be like, okay, we're gonna run Penny, and Penny will ball. And it was like, okay, we're gonna run DJ Dallas, and Dallas will ball 1 week.
Yeah.
Then Chris Carson came back from an injury. Now Chris Carson's the baller again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm just hoping that we don't see that this
Yeah.
season with the Seahawks.
Well, we had that with, like you said, Chris Carlson. He was the one, but you knew he was going to get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you didn't know who was going to be balling that week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hard for the Seahawks, man.
So my only thing with what you're saying in regards to them running him in the ground is that if you're going to run your running back into the ground, the best year to do it is his rookie year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you're gonna run him into the ground, run him in his ground in his rookie year, dog.
because Todd Gurley, he ran himself into the ground from the early jump. There's so many people that got ran into the ground. Zeke ran himself into the ground. I mean, but he was balling for his first couple of years. That's what I'm saying. So your first year, right out of college, all that talent, you got to run them boys.
Unless your name is Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, yeah. Well, it was his, but he got hurt his second year. But
hope
even then,
Saquon stay
Saquon got ran into the ground his first year too.
So Dalvin got hurt his second year.
And he
came back,
He
yeah.
well, he
But he's
didn't
still
jump
lingering.
out as a starter, but when he became a starter, he started balling.
Yeah.
But he was different.
Saquon played a full season the first.
Yeah,
First year, yeah.
He was real good.
I believe his
real
second
good.
year, he got
That's why
hurt.
everybody was drafting him number 1 the next year, and then he hurt himself.
Yeah.
But
And now he thought that
got
was
hurt.
it for my dog this week, man.
With Saquon?
Yeah, last
Oh, yeah,
week,
he got hurt and
Shoulder
then-
injury. I was like, oh, here we go.
you gotta really
Yeah.
be careful with that, bro.
What you got next?
All right.
Keep an eye on.
Yeah, who you got your eyes on?
I need. No, you go first. I want you to go first.
Oh yeah. Anyway, y'all know my usual spiel about this player. My dog, they ain't want him to live.
Yeah.
They put a hit on my dog. My dog been through 4 weeks of recovery, and it's crazy, bro. Because now the guy that put the hit on him about to be in the bench and playing kick return.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what I'm talking about by now, is Brian Robinson, the one, the only, Mr. I got shot himself.
Which is why I wanted you to go first, because whoever Antonio Gibson hired, I need to hire him again. Because Antonio Gibson did nothing for me this week.
Yo, so it's crazy.
At all.
So here's the thing with that, right? Game script. Obviously, the game got out of hand. So the run game wasn't there, but you would have thought that Antonio Gibson would have been present in the
Somewhat.
in the pass game. But then
Yes.
you got to remember there's McKissick,
Yeah.
and McKissick is usually the main pass catcher, running back. But
Gibson
Antonio
can do
Gibson,
it. He's done it.
that's what I'm saying. You got to remember, they were comparing Antonio Gibson last year to CMC.
Yeah.
Right. So point is that he should be that guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they really love Brian Robinson.
man.
And Brian
Cinderella
Robinson, yeah. So
That's what they trying to
Sometimes
portray.
you just got a guy that comes in and is better than the
Bruh,
guy that you thought was
you
great.
got shot 4 weeks ago, bruh. And not only did you get shot
Must've
4
shot him
weeks
with a
ago,
22 or something.
Bruh, a BB gun, man.
Something.
bruh,
I don't know.
they said nothing, no major arteries, nothing, no ligaments, nothing were shot. But
Boy,
he got
blessed.
shot in his knee. He is blessed.
Should have went to go play the lottery.
Bruh. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The man is balling. Well, he didn't ball, but he's a baller. And like I told y'all before, it's like when you watched his game in Alabama, it's a really, really good running back that they have, and he outtouched Gibson by a pretty decent amount. So
Yeah. My player to keep an eye on. I thought A.J. Brown would have been taking away a lot of catches from Devontae, but the way Jalen Hurts is playing and throwing it, it seemed like Devontae is going to be a steady 15-point receiver now. So he should be picked up already just because he's the second wide receiver, but he's the bona fide starter.
No,
he should not be on your bench anymore at this point unless something happens to Jalen Hurts or he digresses.
He had a rough start, but I think they had a couple conversations about getting him involved. I just think that this is just an overreaction of it. But again, he is making big plays. So
Yeah.
I think with the camaraderie that he has and the chemistry that he has with Hurts, I think Smith is just Remember, you got to remember, this man won a Heisman, bro.
Yes, he did.
He may be skinny as hell. But don't let the skinny as hell tell you that he don't got hands, and don't let him think that he won't go up for that ball, because he will.
But he better listen to the Tyreek Hill rule.
Yeah.
Run out of bounds.
He ain't listening to that right now.
And he needs start.
He
You think will keep helping him.
He need to.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's important, dog.
I think if more players in the NFL started to look into all the ways possible that it can stay healthy, so that they can have a long career, it actually produce for the teams that they're playing for. You know, we'd see there'd be a difference in football today. I mean, look at the basketball players. Look at LeBron. Look at how much money he invests in his health.
Exactly.
You know?
$1 million a year.
There's can't be cheap about it. There's no excuse for you to not take care of your own body.
Invests a lot of money in his career, and he's 40-something, bro.
Exactly.
So 45, 46.
46, I think.
This man gonna play till he's 50.
I don't think he's gonna make
Nah, he's not making it past this year. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Be there for your kids, man.
Man, going to have a mental breakdown before then.
He done got a divorce on the way. It's rough for Tom Brady. So if I'm him, for the sake of his kids, like you said, retire.
Yeah.
For me,
Be with your family.
please. But that's about it.
What about you, Curry? You got someone to keep an eye on?
So I would say keep an eye on Darren Waller just because of his injury. If he gets hurt, and he's already hurt, if he does not come back after the bye week, or his hamstring injury turns into a long-term issue, a couple things that could happen. For one, Foster Moreau, however you say his last name, I apologize. He is a tight end who could step in and have a fantasy impact.
Yeah.
Last season, he had some pretty good games while Waller was out. So that could be a speculative ad. And then the other thing is Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins could get some more opportunities. It really did not look good this past Sunday. This past Monday, yesterday, didn't look good. But he clearly has some talents. And with Waller hurt, it might open up some opportunities for him. You never know what could happen, man. I mean, at the end of the day, Devontae Adams is not going to always get the looks and have the games that he's had.
Bro, he had 3 catches, bro.
Right. But
I think 4 targets.
It's not always going to be like that because it clearly wasn't like that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what it was, though? I think Josh Jacobs was just going off.
That's the other thing, too. Yeah. Jacobs had – because when I looked at Hollins and stats, I was just like, what's going on here? But then Jacobs was balling.
He didn't stop.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Can't stop, won't stop.
But they clearly – it'd be a shame if they didn't do anything with Hollins because obviously he's a good player. I mean, a guy doesn't just ball out like that and have what? How many fantasy points he had that one week? Like 40?
40, yeah.
40,
then you go to freaking 0.
Right. So, like, obviously he has some talent. There's no reason why they can't get him more opportunities.
Like the ball.
Everybody on that team, on that offense, should be able to eat in some way, shape, or form. I think Derek Carr is a good enough of a quarterback, and they have the weapons necessary where they can be a serious serious team, especially their offense, coming up against other teams, even the good defenses. You can't be everywhere all the time, all at once.
Yeah.
I believe they'll turn it around quicker than the Broncos will. The Broncos are being lucky. They're just lucky they've won some of the games they've won.
And they look at their defense as good as it is, too.
There's what I'm saying. So that being said, Chargers haven't been 100% healthy. You're missing Keenan Allen. They've had some games that
Herbert
they should have won maybe. So you got the Chargers that they're not necessarily where they should be yet. Broncos are clearly not where they should be yet. And yes, the Raiders are not where they should be yet. But if you watch that game against the Chiefs, if I'm the Chiefs, because you remember what the Chiefs did to the Chargers the other day. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm scared of the Raiders more than anybody. Because when you see Devontae Adams go up the middle and score on 3 people, bro, that was ridiculous, bro. That man was too good for that.
Yeah.
That's why I told you, Gino, he sold me, bro, because he did the same thing and got Lockett there.
I gotta look that play up. I don't remember seeing
Bro,
that.
it was
one.
crazy, bro. Lockett got that joint nice, bro. He did that shit twice.
In closing, the last player we got to keep a lookout on is CH, because Kyrie cursed that man.
I did not curse him. I'm just saying.
Sorry, Alex.
CEH,
Oh man, this
man
is.
be getting hurt. I mean,
I don't like
Yeah.
wishing hurt on anybody, so
I hope Josh Allen
I
get
don't
hurt.
wish hurt on
I'm
nobody
saying.
either. But God damn it, if your ass is
Nah, I wish
injury
it on
prone,
Josh Allen, just so they know what we going through as a Dolphin fan.
I ain't gonna do that to him.
I am.
I actually
am.
respect Josh Allen.
I
It's
don't.
Just, I don't like the Bills, but I respect Josh
I
Allen
don't.
as the player. And you know what it is? I think the reason why I respect Josh Allen as the player is because Tom Brady definitely used to piss me off as just the person that was always killing us.
Yeah.
And he was unathletic. He did nothing special.
I wouldn't say
He-
unathletic.
Did you see his combine?
He's not unathletic. He's a quarterback.
Have you seen Tom Brady run for a first down?
He can't catch. I will say that. We've
All
seen that
right,
in the Super
then.
Bowl.
Bruh.
Point is,
He can't catch.
unathletic. He is not anything special but a good
He's
arm
athletic
talent.
enough.
He has an arm talent and he makes
built
good.
himself up. But
Yeah,
He's
he
athletic
there's-
enough.
out of college, son.
This man, you
Out of
seen
college.
the
That's why he was a 6th round pick, right?
something like
Fifth
that.
round pick, whatever it was.
Either way, that's all I'm saying. I couldn't stand Brady because what are we like? This man wasn't doing much other than just airing it out on us, bro,
That's it,
and
yeah.
running the ball, airing it out, running the ball. It's like we didn't get to touch him. Josh Allen literally will run, and he will run you over. He will
And he could throw.
laser a ball. Like his talent is
He's that dude. I'm
elite
not going
talent.
to front. He's that
he's
dude.
he's elite talent, and I will not disrespect that man. So
It's funny too, because I remember when he got drafted.
they really
They
didn't think he was that.
doubting him.
he had a bad rookie season.
No.
right?
The thing is you want to know. That's the funny thing is I think we talked about it in one of the other episodes too. It's just that Josh Allen was Daniel Jones. He literally was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. They had see the thing for Josh Allen was he had the arm. He had a cannon. Everybody knew he had a cannon.
Yeah.
But nobody thought he was accurate. Nobody thought he was a great game manager. Things like that. And he came from a school that really nobody knew like that. So yes, Josh Allen wasn't really much, but I'm just saying that man's talent. When he got right with Dayball and got him right,
Yeah,
bro.
you got him weapons, yeah.
And then when they finally gave him Stephon, oh man, that man went crazy.
Josh Rosen.
Oh,
Since we own Josh's.
Oh my God.
I don't even know where you want to go with
Boy,
this, but
let
boy,
me tell you, it's real sad when you see these analysts talking so highly of certain quarterbacks,
yeah.
and they go on to do
Nothing at all.
I don't want to be the black versus white guy. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying the funny thing is that during draft coverages, it's always one of those things. Is like when they want to describe a great quarterback, it's always the last guy in the building. He first guy in. He working dead hard. All these good things. He's a great teammate and he plays the game well. And then when you get to the black quarterback, it's like, oh, he runs the ball really well, and he has a good arm, but we don't know. We don't know if he processes the information
track in high
properly.
school.
Like that's just basically what it goes down to sometimes. And it's like, so when you think about it, it's like Josh Rosen was a highly drafted, well, not highly drafted, but highly a high pick in the draft.
And who got drafted before him? Who
Baker.
got drafted first round? That was Baker, right?
It was Baker the first pick. That was that draft.
Boy,
and
look at that.
But the funny thing was I believe not Deshaun. Was it Deshaun? Deshaun was in that draft class.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
I'm trying to think. Deshaun. It was either Deshaun or Patrick. It was one of those two that were in the same draft class, and they went late because I know Deshaun went 10. I know Patrick Mahomes went 10, somewhere around there. And so it's just crazy how some of these teams go and think that they got
Sam Darnold was that draft.
Sam Darnold in that
He
one?
was 3.
Another one.
Baker was 1. He was 3.
where's
Baker, Sam
Darnold at right
Darnold.
now?
There was another quarterback
Josh
that was.
Rosen was 10.
Who else was in there?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. That's the
Josh
one I'm
Allen
talking
was
about.
7.
Yeah, so he was a little bit later. So Josh Allen. So it's
Yeah,
funny.
because that was they had
You're right,
quite a
my-
few quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Because I
so-
think didn't the Bills, they wanted Josh Rosen or something like
Oh
that?
boy,
the
they were
Bills,
Over Josh Allen, like the fans or whatever.
a lot of people wanted. I mean, because the thing is the reason I brought up the black versus white quarterback thing was because the funniest thing about Josh Rosen, the one thing everybody talked about was how smart he was. Like
Yeah.
he was a super cerebral, smart guy. And when you're thinking about how good he was in college, I guess at UCLA, you were thinking that was going to be able to translate. But when he got to the Cardinals and they didn't have nothing for him to work with, it didn't look good. And then he went to the Dolphins, they ain't had nothing to work with, it didn't look good.
really look good.
And he showed that he wasn't a guy that could lead a team to a
Because I
to
think the
promised
following
land.
years when they got Kyler, right? Mm-hmm. Right, the year right after.
Yeah.
So they knew quick. That's
They
not
knew
the guy.
they knew really quick, and they fired that head coach, which was wrong. But anyways, I digress.
Thank you for watching the FantasyFlo Football Podcast. Make sure you tune in for more fantasy football analysis. Like, subscribe, and follow for more content.
The drive can't stop going, catching all these blessings open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing. I'm better the drive can't stop going, catching all these blessings open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing.